Hello and welcome back to another morning, or not even morning, just warm up rambling. Sorry. Uh, so today we have the Mario binder. I got the clip with the clip, but I don't think we need the clip. Unfortunately, we have the shadow on this side as well. But I wanted to test out the binder. We do have the doodle pad here, but I did want to test out the binder, see how it's rocking. It does fit in the bag pretty easily. Everything that's in the bag before is still there. Yeah, so that sucks. Well, not, I don't know why I said that sucks. That's good. It's good that it all works out pretty well. And I guess the main thing is that this binder is pretty small. Like, the paper is not as long as the doodle pad, but I don't think we really need it to be that big. Maybe I'll just put this in the back. And yeah, it's a little aesthetic, you know. The videos, so I record 3 videos, so this would be like after the 3rd video, so you already know this, but the videos I recorded yesterday, I accidentally deleted them as they were copying, and I had to use a recovery program to get them back, and they are corrupted. So obviously by the time you even watch this video, they'll be uploaded with like post commentary and music, but that was pretty annoying. They got corrupted that way. And yeah, so in the future, just have to be more careful. Before we delete anything, we have to make sure that it's done copying, because I don't know, in the past I've tried to do things like that on the computer and it won't let me do it. So the fact that it did it that time was very strange, but machine will do what machine will do, I guess. But it's getting colder again. Obviously we're outside at the same time, but it's a different day, so we're not seeing too many resolutioners, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny that you're not seeing too many resolutioners today, but maybe just because it's a work week day or something, I don't know, but it is interesting because you can't, I don't know. So I haven't been watching the Twilight Zone, but I have been kicking into gear with the 4400. And if you don't want spoilers for the 4400, the 2003 series, I think, I'm gonna count to 5 and you just leave so that you don't get spoiled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now that those people are gone, just ended season 3, is on season 4, and approximately like 10 episodes left. And okay, so we do need the clip. Approximately 10 episodes left, and it is pretty bad, like pretty awful in my opinion. What they've done to Isabel as a character is very annoying. Like they towed her around being this like all powerful being, like, oh, you're so strong, she's so strong, and da da this, da 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 that, and she literally gets knocked down so easily that it's like, was there ever really like a threat, bro? Like, was there ever really like a point? And like, yeah, obviously they have like a future thing where maybe obviously her story's not done yet because she's not dead, but like, I don't know. I feel like they just neutralize it so easily that there's like no real um care to the mythos or the character that they were building up. It's just like, yeah, build up this character to be like this all-powerful being and saying how strong it was and how devilish it was, and in reality, she wasn't really all that strong or devilish. And then secondarily, you have you know, Jordan Collier, who's supposed to be allegedly some messiah, but giving everybody the agent that makes them have the abilities, and people are dying. So it's just like, bro, like, how is this better? How is this good? How is it better? How did he improve anything? You know, like, I feel like it's just always something with these guys, and it never really makes much sense because they're like, it's like a game, right? Like, and then the future took Alana, one of the other characters, the Dream World woman, and it's just like, bro, like, they're just doing anything, right? Like, they're just doing anything. And to me, what's really annoying is when the future takes somebody out of the timeline and people still have memories of them. Like, why does it do that? It's like, oh, we're gonna take this person because you didn't do what we want you to do, and we're gonna give you memories of them. And Kyle, you know, these names and characters is just gonna seem crazy because we're on season 3. I'm not really gonna every for reference, the show, every episode is a recap. Every episode is a recap at the beginning of the episode. So that is the type of show you're watching. Like, they have to recap the entire series at the beginning of every episode. That's how convoluted the show is. But the real problem is Kyle, you know, one of the original characters from the show. Um, you know, he took the agent that gives you abilities and thought that he didn't get an ability. And there's like a twist ability that he has where it's like some like um, Tyler Durden type beat, you know, like, you know, it's just really annoying how they're going about doing stuff in the story, and they just don't seem to be caring about anything that they do. They just do whatever they want, and you're just supposed to like deal with it. You know, like, oh, our character is suddenly now we're gonna get rid of this character and send them to Canada. All right, well, this character is gonna make a deal and that character is gonna come back. All right, this character is moving away and you'll never see them again. All right, this character is coming back and now you're gonna see them again. It's like, bro, can we get some consistency? Like, can we get a character, some consistency with a character, bro? You know, because if we can't have any consistency with any of the characters, it's like, why am I tuning in? I'm tuning in for a show about like superheroes or superpowers that's supposed to save the future, but in reality, you know, it's kind of like, you know, Garbaggio. You know, it's like Heroes and Lost, but worse. Because I've never seen Heroes and I've seen Lost. You know, is really embarrassing. Like, it's one of the most. It's a really embarrassing show, the 4400. Like, I've never heard of it until I saw it on Tubi, and I could see why I've never heard of it. It's just a really embarrassing show. There is no like true redeeming qualities about it, and now they're kind of trying to do like the Monster of the Week type deal, and for me, it's a little too late because in my opinion, the Monster of the Week format for them would have worked at the very beginning, you know, in the olden times when they had what do you call that? It would have worked for me if they would have done that during the period in time at the beginning of the series. Like, oh, the Monster of the Week, because there's like, you know, a bunch of them just came back and we don't know nothing about them, and then you just kind of do like the Monster of the Week type format for a bit while focusing on the main story. But what they do is heavily invest on the main story, and then we're in the last season, and now they're trying to do like Monster of the Week with like minimal story investment, it feels like, because you have too much like going on. Like, they always have just like 40 plot points just meandering about, and nobody's like, you already have to explain your show every time there's a new episode on, right? So how are you going to also, like, while you're explaining your show, how are you going to also do um like plot points where you have to like have been watching from day one to even remember, you know? Like the fact that you have to remind the audience that might be watching the show about what they're watching is a failing as a show in my opinion. But maybe there's a bunch of people out there like a cult fan base who really likes it, which honestly means nothing, because what would they like, what meaningfulness would it be to have a cult fan base of a show that, one, I've never heard of, two, I never heard nobody speak about, three, like nobody I've never heard anybody talk about the show, and I've never heard it ranked or even rated or video essayed or nothing by anybody. So I don't know, is that the worth of the show? Not 100%, but it does show the lack of reverence that the show might have, which, you know, in its own right is a direct indicator of how unrealistic the context of the show is. You know what I mean? So that's you know, these arms are very long. Alright, let's get some lines. But yeah, the 4400 is really starting to become annoying. And they have too many characters that just have way too many answers to things that they shouldn't even have answers to. You know, Diana has way too many answers to a bunch of stuff. Tom just seemingly knows everything. And then when you have a precog character who is always like depressed because they can see the future, and then they finally get happy about things that they see in the future, and then they get sad about the stuff they see in the future. It's like, bro, just do something about it, right? Like, because you see the future, but you assume that that's like, you can't change it. You assume that there's nothing you could do to change it, which is really annoying. You know, you just see something like, oh, that glass is gonna fall off the counter. You know, you could just move it out of the way so that that doesn't happen. But with her, it's like, oh well, it's preordained, so I can't do nothing to stop it. It's like, bro, yeah, you can, unless you see both futures where if you move it, it causes something worse to happen. And I don't think that's what happened. She just gives up. Like, she's just like paralyzed by her precognition, which is cringe. But I think that is it for the warm-up. So if you made it this far into the video, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. I will give you an overview in a second. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Overview, bye.